So, as you said, I'm a Palestinian American, born and raised in Ohio, a Marine Corps veteran. I served in the Marine Corps from 2013 to 2017. I was with 3rd Battalion, 2nd Marines, based in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I was a motor T operator, and complete, upon my, EAS, when I was honorably discharged from the military, completed my studies at Ohio State. My military background, you could say, was pretty interesting, to say the least, considering the fact that not only am I a first generation American, but I'm a Muslim and a Palestinian. And there's just not that many Palestinians or Muslims in the U.S. military. So that was interesting. That was a good and interesting experience, connecting with so many people in that melting pot. The military of in itself is a melting pot, just like the United States, just like the idea of the United States, which is something that I love. But, for many, I was the very first Muslim Palestinian they've seen with their own eyes. For many of these young men that came from the rural South or came from small other states that don't necessarily have a mixed demographic of people. So
you were in the Marines, right?
I was, correct.
Okay. So what is the age group of the average, I guess, I don't know, cadet or whatever you call it that enlists in the Marines? Are we talking 18, 19?
I was 18 when I enlisted. So it was between 18 and 22 years old.
And so this was 2013, you said?
Correct.
Okay. So at that point, let me ask you, did people care that you're a couple shades brown or that you were Muslim? Like when you went in 2013, because I think times are very different now, but in 2013, did young kids, do they give a shit about that stuff? Or was it like you guys were all on the same team because you were all in the Marines? Did you face any prejudice, any discrimination, any of that stuff while you were in the Corps?
I wouldn't say that I've faced or felt discrimination per se. I definitely had a lot of mixed emotions from people when they found out that my first name is Muhammad. Again, I'm sure in the military everybody goes by their last name. So when I got to know some of these young men, later on, some of them found out I was Muslim. I didn't just come up out of nowhere and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm Muslim." Until we got to know each other, and people started finding out that, he's a Middle Eastern Muslim man, he's Palestinian. And for many, they were utterly shocked, not necessarily in a negative way, but they were just almost, again, to them, the Muslims that they've seen their entire life, of those 20 years, 18 years of them growing up, was on Fox News, on CNN, on corporate media. So for many of them, when they saw me, I was the very first example of a Muslim.